Archer Electric Motor Division, GM Motors Corporation, Maintenance Instructions, Silicone Rectifier Assembly 8451653, Maintenance Instructions 6905. Description: main generator fuel accession provided with the D14 alternator 3-phase output through silicone controlled rectifier assembly. Figure 1. Silicone control rectifier assembly consists of 3-phase bridge rectifier circuit. Related transition voltage suppression circuitry to obtain the controllable current level of one diode in each leg over the bridge with the replay with the silicone control rectifier. For extruded aluminum heatsink with the U with the silicone rectifier assembly, heatsink with a mount with a two molded polyester end bracket to provide the electrical insulation allowing the maximum circulation of the air with the 6 bridge rectifier diodes with a mount on 3 heatsink with the 4 with the heatsink with the series diode, 3 wheeling diode, and for which protected with the silicone rectifier with a high reverse volt with the commutation suppression capacitor with a mount over the rear end of the bracket with the commutation suppression resistors. Mount on the front end bracket, also mounted to the front end of the surge suppression and some of the reverse voltage protection diode. Figure 2 of the schematic diagram of the silicone rectifier bridge. Silicone rectifier assembly. Main silicone rectifier assembly requires no routine made with the other visual inspection of the unit. Should the unit not be disassembled with the inspection of the path of the silicone device of the heat sink should not be disturbed. These nuts must be tightened to a specific torque to ensure the proper heat transfer. In silicone rectifier assembly, suspected failure of the unit should be inspected with a bench test, performed necessary to isolate manufacturing malfunction component. Figure 1 shows the silicone rectifier assembly. Inspection test, visual inspection. Remove the dust, dirt with a brush and air with a hose. Check with the molded parts for the breaks and cracks. Check with the damaged loose terminal. Check with the damaged insulation. Silicone rectifier bridge devices. Bridge testers qualify the silicone rectifier bridge for the respective conditions. Silicone diodes open short with the gating capabilities. Show the figure 2 shows silicone rectifier schematic diagram. Suppressor assembly for freewheeling diode, DC positive negative, silicone rectifier straight and reverse, silicone rectifier bridge 1, 2, and 3, G2, gate 2, resistor 1, 2, and 3, capacitor 2, 1, 2, and 3, silicone rectifier bridge of the suppressor assembly, diode 1, 2, and 3. Silicone control rectifiers 1, 2, and 3 does not include the test for the diode with a reverse current with the forward voltage drop. The silicone control rectifier blocking leakage current with the electrical specification listed, and the service diode can be used to perform detailed bench tests on the individual silicone devices. The test procedure requires use of various electrical test equipment connected together with the silicone rectifier test box. In addition, silicone rectifier test box 12-volt batteries required. Refer to the following list of the material of the schematic diagram, figure 3, with the information necessary to fabricate with the test. Voltmeter, milliammeter, watt, 100 watt, 100 watt rheostat, resistor, push SD. These are pressure switches, A, B, S, and test lamp C. DC and D silicone rectifier test box. Material silicone rectifier test box, lamp holder, 12 volt DC voltmeter, DC 0 to 20 volt scale, millimeter, DC 0 to 100 milliamp scale, rheostat 100 ohm, 10 watt minimum, 1000 ohm, 110 watt minimum, resistor 10 ohm, 10 watt minimum, switch push button, spring loaded, normally open and required, switch push button, spring loaded, normally closed, required. Test procedure: disconnect one of the quick disconnect lead for the reverse diode. Figure 4, disconnect supercapacitor with assembly with the bridge circuit with the remove the leading for the following terminals of the suppressor assembly: AC 1, 2, and 3, and DC plus. Connect test lead between silicone rectifier assembly, silicone rectifier test box. Figure 5, rotate test box, rheostat maximum resistant position. 5, connect battery with the test box. Figure 5 with the test lamp comes on silicone rectifier 1 is shorted push button. D and S for the test lamp that comes on the freewheeling device conducting testing. So the freewheeling device is open press button. D with the test lamp comes on. The straight diode is shorted. Press button S for the tamp light goes on to diode 1 shorted. Slowly decrease resistance 100 ohms, 1000 ohm rheostat with the test lamp comes on when the indicator of the silicone rectifier 1 is conducting. Rheostat resistance decreases 0 ohm with testing. Lamp does not come in with the silicone rectifier is 1. It's open. Increase the resistance 100 ohms, 1,000 ohms. Rheostat 500 to 100 ohms, just less than 1/10 of the full range. Press the push button B momentarily. The test lamp goes off, indicating silicone rectifier 1 is turned off. If the test lamp does not remain off, the repeat steps 11 and 12. 13 slowly decrease resistance of 100 ohms rheostat until the test lamp comes on. Alright, shows the commutative resistor, surge suppressor, assembly, selenium rectifier, steering diode, reverse diode, front end bracket with the inside view. Once again, silicone rectifier test volt, this time 12 volt, battery line P1, 10 watt, 100 watt, 10 watt capacitor, milliamp voltmeter, pressure sensitive switch, silicone rectifier red, diode, silicone rectifier 1, compressor 1, DC silicone rectifier test box, freewheeling device, diode 1. 3 volt milliamp to indicate the gate voltage should be less than 3 volt. The DC gate current should be 30 to 75 milliamp. The DC with the indicated value with non-accessible for the silicone rectifier 1 should be replaced. Press push button S and A with the test lamp with it comes on the straight dial conducting test lamp with it does not come on and the straight dial is open. Push button C and D with the test lamp comes on with the dial 1 is conducting the test lamp. It does not come on with the dial 1 is open. And rotate both rheostat with the maximum resistance position. 18 disconnect battery from the test box. To prevent voltmeter damage, step 19, either disconnect voltmeter from the test box with a reverse voltmeter into input connection. To reconnect battery with the test box is filled with the battery plus for the test box, battery negative to test box, battery power. The test lamp comes on and freewheeling device is shorted. Disconnect battery of silicone rectifier test box, disconnect the test, leave the circuit points, compressor 1, ground 1, silicone rectifier assembly, and AC ground, compressor 2, the ground 2, form step 5, 6, 9, 14, 5, 6, 9, 9 through 14 and 16 through 18. Check operation silicone rectifier 2 and diode 2. Disconnect test lead for the circuit points of the AC and ground 2 with the silicone rectifier assembly. Connect AC 3 to ground 3. Form steps 5, 6, 9 through 14, 16 through 18. Check operation silicone rectifier 3 to diode 3. Disconnect test lead silicone rectifier assembly. 27. Reconnect leads with the reverse diode and figures 4 for the suppressor assembly. Selenium rectifier. Visually inspect the selenium rectifier figure 4 blister paint general symptom with a short rectifier. Remove the quick disconnect lead with a negative DC terminal with selenium rectifier. Use ohmmeter test selenium rectifier for the ability to conduct forward direction, block, and reverse direction. Reconnect disconnect lead with a negative DC terminal and selenium rectifier. Steering diodes. Using ohmmeter check with the forward and reverse resistance of the steering diode figure 4 individual use to isolate shorted open diodes. Commutation circuit with the commutation resistor figure 4 with the capacitor figure 6 should be checked with individually and an ohmmeter to isolate the defective components. Reverse diode with remove one with a quick disconnect lead with a reverse diode with a figure 4 with a ohmmeter with check with a 4 with a reverse resistance reverse diode to determine the open and short component with a 3 reconnect quick disconnect lead with a reverse diode. Remove the replacement heat sink mounted component. Disconnect flexible lead with a diode being remove the bus bar with a remove the hex head bolt with a lock washer plain washer replacing silicone rectifier 1, 2, or 3. Also disconnect quick disconnect cathode K and gate G leads with the terminal board before the figure 7 the physical location suspect silicone device. Slide special diode socket 8361524 figure 8 with a diode stub with an inch of the flexible lock lead extends out through the cutout with a socket attached to the driver wrench to the socket when holding the diode stud and loosen and remove the diode nut washer assembly within 1/8 of an inch socket with the driver's wrench. Remove the diode from the heatsink. Clean the heatsink mounting surface with a cloth and apply thermal grease to the hex base of the replacement diode. Apply sufficient grease to cover the entire hex base of the mounting area, but do not apply to the threads. Shows the commutation capacitor, nylon tie strap, rear end bracket, inside view. Over here, 1, 2, and 3 freewheeling diode, silicone bridge diodes is number 2, 3 silicone control bridge rectifiers, and 4 silicone series diodes, which is over here. Figures diode socket applied to diode. Figure 8 insert with the diode a heatsink and attach the nut washer. Some of the turn until the finger tight. Slide special diode socket on the diode side to trim flexible lead extends out through the cutout with the attach the driver wrench for the socket while holding the diode start at the end of the U with the torque wrench 1/8 of an inch socket to tighten the nut with the washer assembly 300 plus or minus 25 inches a pound. torque, connect diode, flexibility with the bus bar using hex, head bolt, lock washer, plane washer, install with the serial cone rectifier 1, 2, or 3. Also connect quick disconnect gate 1 and cathodic leads to the terminal board. Surge suppression assembly. Surge suppressor assembly figure 4 consists of the selenium rectifier steering diode with 2 types of suppressor. The present leave the U with the original suppressor for the contained 4 steering diode with the replacement suppressor containing the 8 steering diode. The defective steering diodes can be replaced individually both with the original and replacement type of the suppressor preferred as steering diode replacement procedure. If selenium rectifier is found with the defect with the original type, the suppressor for the complete suppressor replacement is required with the necessity of drilling pneumatic hole with the possibility of relocating commutator resistor referred to the following procedure. Remove all quick disconnect lead for the suppressor assembly 4. Remove suppressor end bracket with the removing the 4 screws, washer, lock washers, and nuts. Using the replacement suppressor to determine the location of the new mounting hole for the commutation resistor. Drill necessary hole to relocate commutation resistors and install the replacement suppressor with the fasten screw with the washer, lock washers, nuts. Connect quick disconnect lead for the suppressor assembly. If so, when the rectifier is found with a defect with a new type suppressor, the either the rectifier can be replaced as a component or a complete suppressor assembly. Figure 9 can be installed with a complete suppressor assembly and replacement if it is accomplished with a disconnect with quick contact leads by the suppressor, removing 4 mounting screws, screws, washer, lock washers, nuts, reversing procedure with the installation of the new compressor assembly. Figure 9 shows the surge suppressor assembly, 1 spacer, which is right here, 2 steering diode, 3 selenium rectifier, 4 right mount bracket, 5 nut, 6 inner nut, 7 nut, 8 left mounting bracket. Selenium rectifier, disconnect with a quick disconnect lead suppressor assembly. Figure 9, remove suppressor assembly with the end of the bracket, remove the 4 screws, washer, lock washers, and nuts. Caution 1, remove the right mounting bracket. Figure 4, figure 9, left mounting bracket 8 with do not loosen with the disturb of the inner nut. 6% of it could result with the damage of the selenium rectifier. Remove the right mounting bracket 4 for the suppressor assembly. Remove the nut 5 with the lock washer. Install the mounting bracket with the new silicone rectifier with the fastening with the nut and lock washer. Disconnect with a quick disconnect leads from the steering diode with the mounting with left mounting bracket 8. With do not move the diodes from the bracket 5. Move left mounting bracket 8 from the suppressor assembly with the remove the nut 7 and the lock washer and plane washer. Remove the spacer 1. Install the new select selenium rectifier 7. Install the left mounting bracket 8 on the new selenium rectifier. Fasten with the nut lock and wash with the plane washer. 8. Remove the 4 steering diode with an aluminum heatsink with the suppressor assembly. Install the new selenium rectifier. Tighten diode with a hex mounting screw with a 13 1.5 by 1 1/2 inch pounds. Reconnect quick disconnect leads. Install the new suppressor assembly front end of the bracket. Figure 4. And using 4 screws, washer, steering nuts, lock washers, and nuts. Alright, steering diodes. Refer to module repair manual for the technical standard of the file with the performing wire stripping, crimping with a soldering disconnect. Leave the defect of the diode. Remove the defect of the diode. Remove the nut with the flat washer, lock washer. Install the new diode using flat washer, locking washer, and nut with tight nut, tight finger tight with the install the diode. Left mounting bracket 8, figure 9. Ensure fasten connector is also in place. Tighten diode at hex mounting base nut at 13 1/2 by plus and math 1/2 inch pounds. Connect leads to the new diode. Commutation circuit. The components. Defective commutation resistors. Figure 4 will remove the disconnect, quick disconnect, leave the resistor, remove the mounting screw with the lock washer, plane washers, nut with attaching new resistor, mounting with the screw with the lock washer, plane washers, nuts, reconnecting leads new resistor. Defective commutation capacitor. Figure 6 or remove the disconnect and leave the capacitor with the remove the 2 9-line tie strap with the holding capacitor to the rear end of the bracket. Tap with the new bracket capacitor of the rear end bracket with the U with the 2 9-line tie strap. The ties and 2 tie straps. Retention tool set at 65 pounds plus or minus 10%. Contact leads need computation capacitor reverse diode. Remove the quick disconnect leads for the reverse diode. Figure 4 mounting board. Remove the reverse diode assembly from the front end bracket. Remove the 2 mounting brackets screwed with plane washer, lock washers, nuts. Install the defective reverse diode from the mounting board. Solder into the new diode in place. 4 mount the diode assembly front end of the bracket. Use the 2 mounting screw with the plane washer with the lock washer, nuts. 5 reconnect quick disconnect lead for the reverse diode data. Alright, we have peak forward blocking voltage 100 volt DC, repetitive peak reverse voltage 1000 volts, RMS field current maximum 235 amps, peak forward gate current 2 amps, peak forward gate voltage 20 volt DC, peak reverse gate voltage 2.5 volt DC, peak forward blocking leakage 15 milliamperes, gate triggered current to fire at 25 degrees Celsius 30 to 75 milliamps, gate triggered voltage fire at 25 degrees Celsius max 3 volts. volt DC, forward on voltage max 1.8 volt DC, bridge diode, reverse voltage max 1000 volt DC, average forward current 2250 amps max, average reverse current 15 milliamperes max, peak forward voltage 1.6 volt DC, freewheeling diode, reverse voltage max 1200 volt DC, average forward current max 250 amps, average reverse current max 15 milliamps, peak forward voltage 1.62 volt DC, series diode, reverse voltage max 100 volt DC, average forward current max 250 amps, average reverse current max 15 milliamperes, forward voltage drop 1.0 to 1.6 volt DC, steering diode, reverse avalanche voltage 500 to 1000 volt DC, average forward current max 3 amperes, for peak reverse current at 200 volt DC, 4 microamps, peak forward voltage drop at 25 degrees Celsius, 3.75 voltage DC, reverse voltage max 800 volt DC, average forward current max 1.2 amps, average reverse current max 10 microamps, forward voltage drop max 1.3 voltage, oscillum rectifier, blocking voltage 330 volt DC, peaking clamp voltage 900 volt DC, reverse leaking current at 25 degrees Celsius and 330 volt DC, 75 milliamps, forward voltage at 25 degrees Celsius max 119.2 voltage DC, phase electrical representation, stud end, white lead, ground red lead, cable end, so bridge diode, forward wheeling, straight diode, steering diode, cable end, stud end. Silicone rectifier assembly 8451653, Electric Motor Division, General Motors Corporation, Maintenance Instruction MI 6905.